Hi everybody, my name is Ray Tennyson and we are here at the VWise conference in Jacksonville, Florida. Joining me now is Nell Merlino, who just got off the stage and had a great opening session with the women here at VWise. Nell, we appreciate you being here today.
It's always fun.
So Nell, you were up on stage this morning and your organization, you are founder and president of Count Me In for Women's Economic Independence. Tell us a little bit about that organization.
Well, I started Count Me In about 12 years ago, and what we focus on is helping women get from micro businesses to million-dollar companies. We are really focused on growth. There's so many women who are out there who have businesses, but a lot of them are really small. So we're really focused and have helped hundreds and hundreds of women go from, say, $100,000 in revenue. Some are now as high as $40 million.
Wow, that is great. And that initiative is actually called Make Mine a Million Dollar Business.
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
That's
Make
phenomenal.
Mine a Million Dollar Business. And we've recently started a program called the Women's Veterans Entrepreneur Corps, which is also focused on helping women veterans and military spouses grow their businesses.
And when's that launching?
That launches April 29th and 30th in McLean, Virginia.
Wow, that is phenomenal. Any good success stories out of here yet?
Yeah, I mean, we have amazing success stories. The women today who were presenting their businesses. I think the woman with the book who's you know been
gonna be a home run.
Yeah, no, she was excellent. Every place I go, I see women who have a big business in them. And it's a question of, I think, just pointing them in the right direction and giving them the tools, which I know VWise does such a great job with, that we're going to see some really big women-owned businesses that are you know, veterans, that are women veterans.
Yeah, I agree. You know, and it's interesting. You talk about women veterans and women in general. You know, we're seeing women emerge more and more every year as leaders of business and in government or nonprofit organizations. Where's that coming from? What gives women that edge? Where is that emergence coming from?
Well, we've been at it for a while, and I think where it comes from is a real desire to play our part. Is, you know, we're more than half the population, and we want to be in there helping to solve problems, helping people make money, helping people, you know, whether they're, you know, sick or whatever the issues are. And we have excellent ideas, as I know you know, and are very good at executing those ideas. And clearly we're needed. I think there's I'm seeing in the work that I do, a whole level of innovation coming from women that men never would have imagined.
Different way of thinking about things.
A different way of thinking, and also just different products and services.
Yeah, solving different problems.
Absolutely. Yeah. Or I think shining a light on a problem that, you know, men would really like solved. So I think we're seeing a whole new era of businesses, products, and services that are going to help everybody.
Yeah, I think you're right too. You know, for the women that couldn't be here with us today, or maybe some past VWise graduates, why don't you give us a few takeaways about what you just talked about on stage this morning?
Well, I think that the thing that I find most important for women to remember is that business success is a decision. It isn't something that happens by accident. It's something that you plan and set goals for and can attain them. Obviously, if you have a realistic, you know, business plan and product and all those things, but that it's a decision. So that's one. Two, get comfortable being the CEO. You know, you've started a business, you're the boss. Yeah. So get comfortable with that and be the kind of boss that you would like to have. You know, not necessarily the boss in the bad sense of the word, but in the good sense of the word. What kind of leader do you want to be? And you know, learn from VWise what those different skills and opportunities are to be a leader, and pay attention to your finances. I would say those three are the most important. Four, learn how to delegate to other people. Yeah. Women try to do everything themselves.
Yeah, I was going to ask, you know, I hear that a lot from women business leaders and coaches and mentors, that women try to take it all on themselves, a lot of times more than men do. Yeah. Why do you think?
I think some of it comes from our at-home behavior, where often we are the only one. If you're a single mom, you're doing everything. Yeah. And in a situation where you have more control over that, you really do need to reach out to other people and engage them in your company so that you can grow it. And I would even say at home, as you start to grow your business, figure out how to get more help at home.
Yeah, yeah. if you could offer one piece of advice for overcoming that, probably one of the biggest obstacles that you see with women, the delegation piece, how do you start on that? How do you get comfortable in that delegation piece?
What I find is important, because we all make lists. Make a list of the stuff you have to do for a day, and be really honest with yourself and look at the list and think about what are the items on the list that only you can do.
Interesting.
Because what I find when I do that, there are usually 1 or 2 items that only I could do.
Yeah.
Because I have the contact, or I've done this thing before, or whatever. The rest of it, I could farm out to other people. So you really have to think about what's the most important use of your time.
Yeah.
Because women are always time starved, and you've got to step back and think, where do I want to be spending my time, and who do I engage in helping me? And that can be an employee, it can be a contractor, it can be a friend, it can be your husband, it can be your kids. But somebody's got to step up so that you're doing what you're best at, so that you can build your business and do best by your family.
I think that's a great point. I want to shift a little bit. You mentioned the new launch of this Women's Veterans Entrepreneur Corps.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about that. When's that launching? What are we going to see with it?
Well, we're doing this with Capital One at their headquarters, which is really very cool.
Yeah.
And we're inviting women from across the country, but we're focused on the DC metro area, who already have a business, who are in a military family, and really want to grow that company.
Okay.
And we're going to be doing a pitch competition there, where people are going to get up and in 2 minutes explain what their business is, how they plan to grow it, how much money they're making now, how much they want to make in the next year, if they have employees, how are they handling that, but so that the whole audience understands who they are, so that they can even start, doing business with each other that day.
Yeah.
But they then will get an opportunity to enter very exciting business accelerator programs, the kinds of programs that women have been in our Make Mine $1 Million business program, where they're going to be able to take their business and move it to a level that a lot of them have never imagined. So it's very exciting. We'll have great speakers, but more importantly, an opportunity for the women themselves to talk and to get feedback from experts about what it is they need to do to reach their goals.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll plug some great VWise graduates into that.
We already have a few that have signed up.
Outstanding.
We have, I think, like 6 have already signed up.
That's great.
Women who already have companies. So if you've got a company, and even if you don't have a company, you can come and watch and learn.
Yeah.
So it's a really great opportunity. You can sign up on the Count Me In website.
Count Me In website. CountMeIn.com?
CountMeIn.org.
CountMeIn.org. You can check it out there.
Right.
Now you talk about a lot of your programs are focused on kind of that next step.
Yeah.
For again, growing into the $1 million, multi-million-dollar business. If you're a woman out there, a woman veteran out there, and you're not there yet, what can I do right now? What can I do right now to set myself up for success to eventually get into one of those programs? You've
got to reach out to other people. I would say, first of all, Google is a girl's best friend. If you have an idea, get online and really look and see if someone's doing something like what you're doing, because it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, but look at what they've done.
Build a better mousetrap.
Build a better mousetrap. Do you have an innovation in that idea? Do you want to talk to that person? You want to email that person, find them on Facebook, and really start to have a dialogue with them? Because there is the initial phase of starting a business is so exciting if you decide that.
Right.
And you can decide that it's going to be exciting, but it really being a process of discovery and understanding what it is that's out there, what it is that you've thought of that can change that dynamic or add something to it. And also, what kind of business do you want? Do you want to work at home? Do you want to do something that's eventually going to be franchised? Do you want to sell in your city? Do you want to sell nationally? What do you want to do? What problem do you want to solve? I think those are the kinds of questions that I'd be asking myself. What problems do you want to solve? What kind of life do you want? Because you can construct your business in a way.
Yeah.
I know so many women who've constructed their business where they can take their kids to school and pick them up.
Around their lifestyle.
Or $1 million companies or more. Or they're $100,000 companies. I mean, getting to the $1 million is an aspiration for some. For others, getting to $100,000 or $200,000 would be really great.
Yeah.
You can do cool things with your kids when you're making, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 for your own salary, let alone what you're making in the business. So I think it's thinking about what you want.
Yeah.
Thinking about what you want and what problem do you want to solve with your company.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned the lifestyle piece, because I think for women especially, as you mentioned, and even if you're in a dual parent household and you're not a single mom, there still may be lifestyle implications for you, and to be able to build that business really around your lifestyle.
If you live with, if you're a military spouse and say you're moving around the world, You need to bring
Absolutely.
more income into the household. And what kind of business can you construct where you can do it from wherever you are? That's some of the stuff we will be focused on in McLean on April 29th and 30th, is how, because you can do business now from anywhere.
Absolutely.
So how do you take a great idea where maybe you're bringing in $10,000, $20,000, which is a big help to the family? What if you can turn that into $100,000?
Yeah.
So what do you need to know about
still
the latest?
Be able to move.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, what do you need to know about the latest things on the internet and in social media that can grow your business? There are lots of different ways to skin this cat.
That's great.
And we've worked with so many women. We know the different ways to do it. And what do you need that's going to help you grow your business and have a fulfilling life? And that's what we work on with women. It's not just, we don't separate the two. Women can't separate the two.
Right.
We're in charge of the family, we're in charge of a company, if we're running a company, how do we make that all work so that we can be good mothers, great CEOs, you know, great spouses, whatever it is that we're doing? How do we do all that in a way where we're not exhausted every day?
Yeah.
How do we do it where we have energy every day to help people in whatever the product or service it is that we've designed?
That's great. Well, I'll tell you now, we're excited about the Women Veterans Entrepreneur Corps, and we definitely want to be a part of that and get some women into that. So again, you can learn more about the Women's Veterans Entrepreneur Corps on the Count Me In website.
Absolutely.
On countmein.org, and you can read more about Nell and her work there with Count Me In. And Nell, I just want to thank you again for being here with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I always enjoy this.
Great. All right. Take care.
Thank you.